Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here of Tribal Trades, the daily show. And today we're going to talk about, is alt season already over? Or is this just a momentary dip that should be bought up? Or is it going to be a dip that keeps dipping? Is there more downside on the cards? We're going to talk about that and a whole bunch more. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel. And if you're new watching the channel, welcome. Smash that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and you'll get the daily updates. So first and foremost, let's look at the Bitcoin chart here. And what we can see is here on the weekly time frame, there is the 9 EMA on the weekly. We are struggling to hold that at the moment. And if you look there, that level is sitting at around 113,397 or change there as well. And so the 9 EMA on the weekly being lost usually isn't really that great. We can see how it got lost here, and we really capitulated to the downside, and we momentarily lost it there. We had a close there, and then we opened, but the second candle closed above, and that's super key. And so we wouldn't want to necessarily lose that level. But the one I'm really concerned about, I think we could lose this one. And by the way, there is a shoulder, there is a head, and there is potentially another shoulder there. And this is on the weekly time frame. Now, if this does play out, we would see a significant drop down for Bitcoin there, and altcoins would get smashed as a result. And the line in the sand really is the 20 EMA on the weekly. That's sitting right now at 109,886. Of course, the 100 EMA there at 111,935 has been some support there on the daily time frame currently, but that's really close, guys. And so we have to be careful, because if that gets lost, then a drop down to that 104, and then a lower drop down there to that area of 98. And this is really our line in the sand. This is our bull market support line here, the 50-week moving average. And historically, when this has been lost with a full candle open and closed below that, that has signaled the end of the bull market, and that has been the end there. And so if history does repeat. However, we are quite some distance away from 113 to 98, is a ways away. And this is line here is the one that we really need to hold, because again, a loss here, and that is a head and shoulders pattern on the weekly time frame there for Bitcoin. So that's one sign that the altcoin season that we had a nice little pump there before the dump on the weekend could be over. There's that 100 EMA on the daily there, sitting there at 111,935, and that held support. There's your 220 EMA on the weekly. We did have the tribal trades indicator, one indicator to rule them all, did give us that warning signal that there would at least be, now on the daily time frame, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Generally, we see it on average about a week. So sometimes it can be quite short. You can see this one here on the daily time frame. This actually only lasted 3 days. This little signal, it was a small little pump. This one here lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days here. This one here lasts a little bit longer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 12 or 13 days. So you do see it average at around 7, as short as just a few days, and could be as long as maybe, 10 to 12, 13 days. So this one here may be close to playing out. We do have this pink, which signals a potential reversal. You can see here when we get the pink, the oversold, quite often there is, not all the time, you can see where it's signaled here, it got oversold, and then it just went more into the oversold territory there. And so there is a potential reversal coming possibly, and maybe this was just a short 1 week to the downside situation here. So that's the first thing that I would look at before determining, is this alt season at an end, and are we going to see a pump heavy into October, November, as we have normally seen? And we do have to keep in mind that if we do lose this 50-week moving average, that it's the end, and the top was in August, which would have never happened before. But of course, Bitcoin also made a new all-time high before the halving, which had never happened before, and that would line up with a left translated cycle, where the cycle has moved to the left and is going to finish earlier. So instead of finishing in November or December, which it normally finishes in, that the end could possibly be in. And we do have to consider that the end is possibly in, and that's over. And for me, where's the line in the sand? It's the 20 EMA on the weekly. Now, if we were to drop below that, this line, could have a close under it, but another open and close below it would be a really big warning sign on the weekly time frame, because that brings into play this head and shoulders pattern here. And by the way, we have an inverse head and shoulders pattern here for Bitcoin. So this could be quite bullish, that we break out, fail the first time, come back and retest, and then off we go again. So that's a possible pattern there as well for Bitcoin. Let's go to total 2, because total 2 does tell us a little bit of a story. It's 2024 over here, and this is the same. 2021 also is up around that area. I'm not going to go back there just for the sake of time. However, as you can see, we do have a little bit of a warning, but the last time these warnings came in, the red dot didn't come. And when the red dot has come, you can see has led to some kind of a downside, some more significant than others. We saw this last red dot here, but it only took 1, 2, and 3 weeks, and it had already played out. So even if we do get a red dot here, but what I do want to point out is the 9 EMA on the weekly seems to be a lot more of a crucial, and again, as we pointed out with Bitcoin, the 9 EMA on the weekly, we didn't want to lose that, but it was the 20 EMA that we really didn't want to lose. But look what happens when we lose the 9 EMA here. There is usually some kind of a downside there, even if it's shortened. So in saying that, well, should we be buying the dip at the moment? Well, I think buying a dip confirms support, and buying a dip at a key Fibonacci level or 200-day moving average or 50-week, but then making sure those stop losses are there, because we are at a pretty crucial level, and we are overbought there as well. And we do have some bearish divergence here. You can see from December, we made a high. We've made a higher high here, but we're lower on the RSI as well. And this is the same on here and over here. We are the same here. So there's bearish divergence across the momentum indicators. So the total 2, have that on your charts. If we were to lose the 9 EMA on the weekly, we do historically see some downside anywhere between quite mild to quite severe. And so that would be another one that I'd be looking at. If you look on the daily, yes, we have had the red dot there, and then it reversed fairly quickly, and then it went up a little bit, and then it reversed, and now we've seen about 6 days to the downside. And of course, the 9 is starting to cross the 20, and that's what we don't want to see. We haven't actually seen that happen for a while. This here touched, and we just haven't seen that 9 cross for a while. But when it has, that would be, this is quite bearish there if this starts to cross down, because we haven't seen that happen for a little while there. In fact, we can probably go back a little bit here and see maybe the last time that 9 did cross, and you can see where it happens, the 9 does cross. There is significant move to the downside. I mean, this is 1.25 trillion down to 1 trillion. And so it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but that's a fair amount. And then we had a small little cross there, and we went from 1.25 trillion down to 1.1 trillion. That is a significant drop there. And even on this one, we didn't even go below it, but we got that red dot, and look at how big that drop was there. That was 1.56 trillion down to 1.3 trillion. Now we've already had, and the other danger here is this double top, and this quite potentially might have already played out. But we do see again that oversold signal there, and possibly we're at the 50-day moving average, and the potential for a reversal here, and we get a situation here like we did over here, and potentially over here where it came down and didn't have daily closes below the 9 going below the 20 there. So it's very interesting. If we jump across to USDT dominance, there's a little bit of a double bottom there. And so that is bullish. And if USDT is pumping, then Bitcoin and altcoins aren't pumping. And again, you can see here, we had a couple of green dots, now a green arrow. And again, this is a fairly bullish pattern here. If we were to break above, well, we would need to see a break above the 50-week moving average here. So to go from 4.49% to 4.62%, that would probably signal Bitcoin possibly losing those key levels, altcoins possibly losing these key levels. So had that on your charts, the 50-week moving average, USDT breaking, having a weekly close above that. Watch the charts for Sunday. Yes, there is the 50 EMA and the 200 and a bunch there as well. But if we were to, you can see what's happening here. Left shoulder, head, we could come down and then come back, make a right shoulder, and then that would likely signal more bearishness there for different charts there. And we will look at Bitcoin dominance, and then we're going to talk about a altcoin. And don't quite have the green dot, but when we have seen the green dot or the red dot, obviously the red dot means it's time to get into altcoins, okay? And that Bitcoin dominance is dropping and people are rotating from Bitcoin into altcoin. And here we're possibly seeing a reversal where people are rotating from altcoins back into Bitcoin. And there is the 9 EMA on the weekly. Above that, you'll start to see that curl up. And again, look, when the 9 crosses the 20, look how quickly that capitulates the downside. And when the 9 crosses the 20, which is all the way back there, you can see the gigantic move that it put into the upside before we've seen that cross. So we haven't seen that cross to the downside for quite some time. So remember, down for Bitcoin dominance is bullish for altcoins, and the reverse is true to the upside there. And if we quickly look on the daily time frame there, we can see there that where the 9 is about to cross above the 20, and look what happened when the 9 crossed below the 20. So just be careful there. Of course, these can be little fake outs like we've seen where they go and they don't quite cross, or there's only a little bit of a cross, then it comes immediately back. And we do have this 50-day moving average acting as resistance. But if we do start to see Bitcoin dominance break out here above the 50-day moving average and the 50 EMA on the daily, then it's going to get a little bit more tough for altcoins. And remember, if the cycle is over, then it's over for altcoins as well. And you don't want to be buying a dip that just keeps dipping. So if you do buy the dip, if you do find support, then of course, make sure that you have a stop loss. And if we start to see more downside, look to go short. A lot of money can be made shorting to the downside. You can learn to short in the Tribal Trades Discord. And speaking of the Tribal Trades Discord, the Asta trade, one trade to rule them all at the moment there. And what we had was, I gave this trade originally down here at about 60 odd cents. And then I gave the trade actually multiple more times on the way up. And I just gave the trade again at $2 yesterday in the live session here. And that pumped all the way up to $2.42. So those who got in that trade, absolutely incredible on the Tribal Trades Discord. And then we do have a technical target here of $2.76 there, which is also a Fibonacci. And you can see how that played out in the Tribal Trades Discord there. Asta given in the live session at $2.02 with a technical target of $2.76 there. And of course, I did give this play originally here at 64 cents, as you can see. And so that's been an absolutely magnificent play there in the Tribal Trades Discord there, of course. And so if you want to join the Tribal Trades Discord and join, just seen some incredible wins here. I love the wins section of the channel there. There we go. Some great wins. You can still join the Tribal Trades Discord in September. Now, we are a closed Discord, okay? And so, but you can get on the wait list for the Tribal Trades Discord, because what I'm doing for the month of September is I am letting at least one person each day into the Discord from the waitlist into the Tribal Trades Discord. That will end at the end of September, and it will be closed again probably for the entire month of October. I will open up the Discord again before the end of the year. I'm not sure of the date or how late at the end of the year it will be open. Remember, we opened the Discord in January and for a part of February. Then it was shut, and we only opened it again in June. and then we shut it again in July, and then I have opened it here in September, only for a short period of time. So this is the last week that if you're wanting to join the Tribal Trades Discord, you'll get these swing plays and the stock plays. You'll get the Tribal Trades indicator, and that comes with your payment for the Discord, and it is a monthly subscription. You can cancel at any time, no pressure at all to stay. If you're enjoying it, great, stay. And if it's not for you, if you don't have time, we wish you always all the best there. So there's no pressure. You can just come in and try it out, but you can't try it out unless you get on the wait list to wait your turn to come into the Tribal Trades Discord there. And so just check it out. There's a link below in the description of this video there, and you might need to click the more button, and that will pop out, and you can get access to the Tribal Trades Discord as I do move people from the wait list into the Discord section. Well, that's all I have time for today. A little bearish, I know, but possibly maybe there will be a move to the upside and things can flip around just as quickly as they flipped around last weekend there. So, of course, as always, until I see you in the next episode or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.